Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. If it, we'll do it live. Okay, so I started a few minutes earlier than I usually start. Well, actually, I started a few minutes earlier than I said I was going to start. I said 7:05. It's actually not even 7 o'clock yet. So let's do this. This is as a response to Ed responding to Sarge Willie Pete. So I gave it about 12 or so, 13 or so minutes of listening to Sarge Willie Pete, and I definitely see where Edward is coming from. By the way, the video where Ed said, tell him to date out. I actually should change the title to this to they hate themselves, and that's the direction I'm probably gonna go in on this video. And it's important why, right? So going off of what Ed was saying, and I'm more aligned with Ed on this than I am with Sarge on this. Black women really do hate being black. They've given up the fight. You can argue if they ever were fighting in the first place. So we can put that argument on the side, right? But there is no fight in them. I'm in agreement with Black Uru on this. We need to look at black women as borderline a separate race, and that their political ideology may not align with black men. And this is where you get the colonizing agent, right? White society using black women as a political project, as a colonizing agent against black men. And black men might have to start seeing that way, not just the black manosphere. I'm purposely not saying the black manosphere. I'm saying black men may need to start seeing black women as a wholly different group from black men, politically, socially, definitely economically. But it might have to be that. If they want to be white women so damn bad, then black men might need to start treating black women like the white women they wish they were. And when I say that, I mean that more politically. When a Karen's in the room, when you're in the cafeteria at work, right? When you're next to the water cooler, when the Karen, the snitch of the job, walks in to comport yourself correctly, to give her nothing to tell on or even nothing to make up. Black men might need to start talking about and treating black women in that way. Unfortunately, right? If they want to be white women politically and socially and economically so goddamn bad, then maybe treat them like it. And when I say, once again, I don't mean like with the specialness. I mean with the apprehension, with the skepticism, right? That's what I mean when I say treat them accordingly. The same skepticism that the vast majority of black men, contrary to black women's belief that every black man is chasing after the white women and Latinas. No. Most black men, excuse me, because we know it, most black men look at white women like, what do you want? What the second we gotta have a conversation with them, we look at them side eye like, what do you want? Right? So maybe black women need to be careful what they ask for. You want to be treated like a white woman by black men? You don't really know what you asked for. Fine then. So tying this to what Ed was saying, yes, they hate themselves. More and more data is coming out that's showing that. As a matter of fact, all black women have done for the past 40, 50 years with their college degrees is beg white men to marry them. To tell you the truth. What somebody show me over the past 40 years, all of these black women that have gone into academia, what exactly have they done for black people? You know what? Screw black people. What have they done for black women except beg white men to take them on? I didn't say non-black men. I said white men. What have black women done but try to rejigger desirability to tell white men it's all a figment of your imagination, Mr. White Man? It's all you do secretly want me, Mr. White Man. While they're punching down on black men because somehow black men didn't elevate them to the level where white men would take them seriously. Right? That's a real question. What exactly has 40, 50 years of black women in academia done but attempt to shame white men into marrying them? Shout out to Sojourner Truth. All this talk about desirability and softening up black men while leaving white men on their patriarchal pedestal, right? All that shit, all that black men are these hyper masculine, want to be patriarchs, but we ain't gonna challenge that white man patriarchy because we want the white man's patriarchy, right? So yeah, I'm with Ed on this. The reason Mr. Z's channel is the way it is to explain how we got here and what's being done and how many black women are perpetrating the BS. You can see my channel as the anti-propaganda channel or the counter-propaganda channel when it comes to all the black women effery. And yes, Mr. Z engages in SBE because I think some women, not even some, black women do need to be shamed. Yes, they do need to be shamed. All this, I'm in my pride. I get y'all brothers. I get it. I'm in my pride. I'm not shaming her. She knows better. Yeah, no, she do need to be shamed. Y'all can get in y'all pride bag if y'all want to, Mr. Z not. I don't know why y'all think black women shouldn't be shamed. They've been waging a war on your image for decades, and you don't think they need to be shamed about it? All right, whatever. You don't think they need to be blamed about it? And you don't think it needs to be explained to younger black boys and men what they're running into when their mom talking crazy, when their sisters are talking crazy, when their girlfriends are talking crazy, when their baby mamas and wives are talking crazy? Shit, when their daughters are talking crazy? You don't think that need to be explained to men, to black men? Yeah. Right? So yeah, I'm with Ed on this one. Tell him to date out. Because we know what that's gonna look like for the vast majority of them. Shrugs. We know what that's gonna look like for the vast majority of them. Guess what? Shrugs. Yeah, Mr. Z be throwing it in their face. Yeah, Mr. Z throwing it, but in the grand scheme of things, shrugs. I say it for those of you. I'm almost certain most of you didn't know, but it wasn't a year ago yet. Maybe it was a year ago, but it was a year ago about this time. I was on Irv's channel, and a white dude called in, and me and his sister had been disagreeing about something earlier. There was a black woman that was on Irv's channel, and me and her had been disagreeing about something. But the white, I don't know how Irv be having these like white, like these low, like the low level white racists. He ain't foaming at the mouth, but he still comes to the same conclusion as his white racist cousins, like his overtly white racist cousins. They still come to the same conclusion. He's just a little bit more reluctant than the overtly white racist cousin is. Okay, cool. So Irv had one of those type of white dudes on his channel. Don't ask. I don't know. But anyway, so believe it or not, the sister and me got on code. She got on code with me. So Mr. Z was more of the loud, bombastic, hit him upside the head type, and she was more slow and deliberate. And we both fell in line instantly, like the way it's supposed to go. When you get a synergy, for some of us, we have those coworkers, those black female coworkers, and there's a synergy. She warned you about what's going on, you warn her about what's going on. Y'all look out for each other. It's not one of those where the sister be backstabbing you. It's funny because we had just been disagreeing, and once the white dude walked in the room, we got on code, right? I'm using this example for a reason. And when we got on code, I'm telling, oh, she, you don't realize what she's doing to you. She's slow creeping you and dragging you to the answer. She's slow drag. I'm telling you what it's going to look like in 20 minutes. I'm telling you what it's going to look like in 30 minutes. You're going to concede in 30 minutes. Because I see her footsteps. You don't even realize what you're saying. I see her footsteps. You don't. Low-key, I'm calling him slow. Right? And just like Mr. Z said, now it took a little bit more than 30 minutes, but in about 40 minutes, guess what? Ding, 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 ding. So what I do on my channel is that, dear ladies, you know how this is going to look like, right? And the difference between 30 and 40 years ago and now is that the boys and the men, the young black men and the young black, they have all of this information. So your hope of looking up on one of these simp ass dudes for your daughter, who's gonna be raised by you, which means she's gonna be raised to be a goddamn predatory monster. By the time you get your mind right to raise your daughter to go after the dudes that she don't really want in the first place, it's too late. That's what Mr. Z does on his channel. I'm telling them the game now. I know because I know for a while brothers have been in Mr. Z's comments saying, "You giving up the game, Z? You giving up the game?" It doesn't matter. Their pride and their anger is so great, they ain't gonna budge. But even if they do budge, I would have already set up the game the way I need it to be, and other black men need it to be, and other black men would have set up the game the way we need it to be. Y'all don't get to double back. Just like that online dating statistics have shown, that these women of color respond first to white men, then to men of their own race. Yeah, what Ed is saying, if I get it correctly, and what Mr. Z is saying also is, no, the second you look like you're about to respond to the white dude, you close the door on black men. Done. You don't get to come back over here claiming loyalty after the white dude pipes you and then dumps you off. You don't get to walk up with the kente cloth after the white dude dumps you off or after he rejects you. You don't get to claim black loyalty after you're rejected by the white dude. Right? Dear black women, all you college grads and you college attendees, you don't get to claim black loyalty after, even if you didn't approach the white dude, after you got your feelings hurt, walking through those colleges and universities and realizing the white dudes don't even see you. You're invisible to them. You don't get to claim loyalty and then still, by the way, still beating up on black men and black men's image. Still beating up on black men and black men's image while you're claiming loyalty when you're really just throwing a fit because you spent 4 years in college and university and you realize, God damn, yeah, there's a couple of white mics, you know, the white mics, but he done piped 6, 7 black women. I don't want to be number 8 or 9 on his roster. Damn, these white dudes. That's what they, by the way, that's what the insider article, Dear Chrissy, you coward. That's what the insider article was saying. So yes, I'm with Ed on this one. Tell him to date out. Right? Dear Black Excellence, exactly what I'm saying. And Black Excellence says, not treat them like regular white women, but like the most racist ones. Exactly. Exactly. Right? And Big Kev says, where's the panel? Look, Big Kev, let me tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, one of the cities that I work for had a huge, it's like one of our Super Bowl type of events, right? And so you couple that with the overtime that Mr. Z did this week, and I'm probably gonna hit like 90 hours this week, right? Something like that between both jobs. So that's what happened to the panel. So what I'll do, Big Kev, I'm gonna shoot for next Sunday, definitely, but I'm gonna try to do a panel discussion probably earlier than that this week. What I will do is I will give at least a good, depending on the time, I'll give a good at least maybe 6 to 12 hours warning so that people can know, Ms. Z is gonna have a panel. So I'm not gonna do the usual Mr. Z thing, which is like 30 minutes before, 20 minutes before, if you're lucky, an hour before, right? You know, or even just like this one, like 20 minutes before, then I actually started early. I won't do that. So, you know, we'll do that, Big Kev. Right? So, you know, back to the topic at hand. Yeah, so I'm really not about this idea that black women get to actually just paint white racist concepts, black women, and then throw them back out in society, because everybody's doing it, right? In their own way. We're not black men. Please don't treat us like black men, right? The Asians are doing it. The Latinos are doing it. The poor whites are doing it. The Arabs, the Persians are doing it. And black women are doing it. Right? And so I get where Sarge Willie Pete, you know, and every once in a while, Mr. Z ventures off on that side of the game too, obviously. I get where Sarge Willie Pete, and this is a man thing, right? You try to You try to make logical sense of things. You try to reason. You try. Okay, maybe we're doing this wrong, or maybe I have my formula, incorrect. Something's wrong, right? Maybe 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2. Maybe it equals 7. Maybe 1 plus 1 equals 9. Maybe 1 plus 1 equals 13. I don't know. We have something wrong. Maybe 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, right? I get where Sarge Willie Pete is coming from. I get it. Maybe if we had more kick-ass black men, then black women wouldn't act the way they do. Maybe that, right? Maybe if we had more black men that were white collar, black women wouldn't do this, right? Maybe if we had more black men that were fit, then black women wouldn't do that. Maybe if we had less black men that are convicted felons, maybe if we had black men that were essentially Carlton Banks, then maybe black women wouldn't move this way. And Ed is correct. No, Sarge. They just hate what they see in the mirror. And there's nothing you can do except tear down white patriarchy, have fun trying to do that. That'll change that. You know what you'll run into, Sarge? You'll run into what Asian men are running into. If we snapped as a matter of fact, Asian men are on the other side of the coin of what black men are, right? If black men tomorrow, we snapped our fingers, boom, and black men just became these kick-ass men, right? You would run right into the buzzsaw of what Asian men are running into right now. White male media will just rejigger this. Oh yeah, all right. Black men then launch. All of a sudden, our air quotes, our penises would all of a sudden get smaller, right? Not saying they actually would. I'm saying like that would be the propaganda, right? Our sex game would get all the media showing all of our swag and all of our charisma. That would go out the window all of a sudden, right? No matter what type of projects we do, we wouldn't be seen as the cool kids anymore. Right? All of the swag that's associated with black basketball players and football players and rappers would dissipate almost overnight. Right? You would run into the buzzsaw that South Asian and East Asian men are running into in America. How is it in India, South Asian men are like the pinnacle of masculinity? In Britain, South Asian men they're not seen as these kind of like stiff, not in the same way, but all of a sudden, somehow, when they come to North America, mainly Canada and America, South Asian men, their masculinity falls off of literally the same cousins raised by the same two sisters, same two brothers. Somehow the cousins that decided to come to America versus the cousins that went to Britain are seen totally different. The cousin that the mom and dad that went to Britain with their children, those children are they're not black, but sometimes associated a little bit with certain black culture in Britain. But all of a sudden, the cousins that come to America, they pretty much white. I would like to direct you to Mindy Kaling and her brother. They're pining for whiteness. They're pining for white acceptance. Right? What I'm saying is, if you were to snap your fingers tomorrow and black men just became these kick-ass, super disciplined men, and we pretty much refashioned ourselves as off-brand white men, we would be treated like off-brand white men. That's what Mr. Z is saying. Right? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. That's what Mr. Z is saying. And hopefully you guys can hear me well. Right? Right? Oh, I didn't know that. International Ronin says, Angry Man said it last night. I'll check it out. Angry Man said it last night. The Little Mermaid singing "Wish I Could Be Part of His World" was telling, and that's all it is. That's and I'm glad that we're having this more expansive conversation, not just about black women, but about women of color. But we're black men and we're part of the Black Manosphere, and these are the people that are our sisters, our mothers, our aunts, our girlfriends, our baby mamas, and et cetera, et cetera. our daughters, and so we focus on black women. Clearly, first of all, we're black, and most black men don't actually hate being black, you know. Um, but yes, women of color, black, that includes black women. This being kind of the underground theme of their life, wishing that they were part of the white man's world, and everyone pretending like we don't see it. Everyone pretending that we don't see it. And when I say everyone, I mean pretty much everyone except for the black men and the black manosphere. I'm not even gonna say black men because other black men are pretending like they don't see it either. And this is why I'm aligned with Ed on this one. There is no achieving your way out of black women wishing that they were white women. That's why I brought up the Asians as the example. You're just gonna run right into that wall. And last time I checked, that interracial marriage rate for American-born Asian women is 54%, primarily to white men. So even after Asian men did all of that, kissing a whole lot of white ass, ignoring anti-Asian racism from white dudes and directing it to black men, let's be very clear, right? Keeping their head down, being supposedly disciplined, way more disciplined than black people, all that studying, all that cheating, all that white worshiping and white ass kissing, all of that for your daughters to still run after the white dude. You imagine being Mindy Kaling's father? You did all of that, and yeah, your daughter is super famous. Yes, let's call a thing a thing. Your daughter is super famous. But she's still the baby mama to some white dudes. Oh, you did all of that for your daughter to not chase after the approval of South Asian men, Indian men. No, your daughter, to pretty much every chance she gets, she's begging white men. You did all of that for your daughter to be begging white men to be the bust down for white men. You imagine? Imagine being an East Asian dad in California, a Chinese dad, a Japanese dad, right? A South Korean dad. You doing all of this, you ignoring all of the condescending from white people, right? You throwing black people at your job under the bus, right? You condescending to black people. You tell your children stay away from black men, black people in general, but black boys and men. You doing all of that. All for your daughter to come home with a white dude, get played by him, come home with another one, get played by him, come home with another one. Finally, one of these lamoids put a ring on her finger. Or you find out in the worst way that your daughter was the pass around for white dudes in high school. And then she wanted to be, love is love. And I don't know why you have this colonization mindset when it comes to Asian women. We don't belong to you, Asian men. You imagine you did all of that for your daughter to be talking to other Asian men that way? So yeah, Sarge Willie Pete, there is no, well, if black men did this, and maybe if black men weren't so color struck, it wasn't, what about color? No. Right? The black women that think the way Chrissy do, they're done. You can't do anything with them. Sarge, you couldn't do anything with Sarge. I'm gonna say it. We kind of blame you for bringing her in this space. Actually, we should blame you. Yeah, you legitimized her. But Sarge, let's be clear, bro. Chrissy was done before you even met her, bro. Right? Chrissy was done before. She was already broken. It was done. You should have never legitimated her, but it was done. She was already gone. She was already gone. You have to have a certain level of resilience being a black person dealing with other black people. You have to know you're gonna get annoyed with other brothers and sisters. You're gonna have to know that they're gonna make fun of you. You're gonna have to know that you fighting against the tide to even help them out, to help yourself out too, because this is about your children and your literal progeny in the future, your actual progeny. But you have to know you fighting against the tide and do it anyway. That's what Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were doing. They did it anyway, knowing they fighting against the tide. You do it anyway. For the 1 or 2 or 10 or 15 or 1,000 black people that benefit from your effort, the million black people that benefit from your effort, you do it anyway, knowing that at the time they're gonna be throwing sticks and stones. For Chrissy to be where she's on now and say, "Oh, I was riding with the black manosphere and you let this dude stalk me and you let she wasn't with it in the first place. All that means is she wasn't riding for real in the first place. If she could do and like I said, she wasn't really with us in the first place. But if she could do a 360 like that, or a 180, it's more 180. 360 means you facing back the same direction. But if she could do a 180 like that, no, that means you wasn't riding in the first. You wasn't with it for real in the first place. Don't make excuses now. You weren't with it in the first place. So Sarge, there was nothing. Listen to Yanni now. She's trying to find all type of ways to justify to herself her being single. She earned too much more than so many black men. And she's trying to make peace with being single for so long and her celibacy journey and whatever. Right? You don't turn around and blame black men for that. For not being adequate partners enough for the real talk with Yannis and the Chrissies. The real talk with Yannis and the Chrissies, let me be very clear. I don't care how grown they are. They don't know what they want really, because they want some pseudo white man power, but without the white man's patriarchal power, but the white man's patriarchal power, so they can make fun of black men, but they kind of want to fuck black men, but they kind of don't want to have sex with black men, right? But no, they want to have sex with black men, but they want black men to have white men's power, but they want the white man. They want to be anointed by the white man and walk around being like, "Oh, look at my white husband," right? Look, I've arrived, right? But then they don't want him to flex that power on them when he needs to. You see what I'm saying? You see how this makes no sense? It's just a bunch of spaghetti, right? And they want to uplift the image of black women while low-key defecating on other black women like y'all see me. I'm better than y'all. Look at me. Look at these shoes, my white man, black man, kind of sort of man thing, majigger, that's masculine but not masculine when it comes to me. Look at what he bought me. Right? Look at these high heel shoes. Look at his bins. Right? I'm a kick-ass corner office CEO, boss chick, stay-at-home mom, woman, person, thing. You see how that don't make what? Wait what? Now you see them talking like Yanni on some. I provide myself with my own leisure, and I kept myself. I'm a kept. I want to be a kept woman from a man because I made myself a kept woman. Look, what? Exactly. Sarge, that's where they are mentally, bro. I'm with Ed on this. You can't do nothing with that. You can't do anything with that. And what I'm arguing, Sarge, is that there are way more black women like that than you would like to give credit for. Way more black women are like that. That's why they kind of sort of anti-patriarchy, but not really. Once you start telling them what won't come, what they will not be granted with, what men in general, black men specifically, won't be doing, if there's no promise of black male leadership, black patriarch, then they're like, "Oh, well, no, that's what you're supposed to do." Wait, but why would I do that if I don't have anything on my end? Well, I can give you this. That's not what I'm asking for. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. They want cheese pizza. Men, I didn't say black men. Men want cheese pizza, and women want to come to the restaurant. Oh, excuse me, women want you to go to their restaurant and say, "Well, we got hot dogs, we got chicken sandwiches, we have hamburgers, we have tacos, right? We have fried fish, we have beef stew, we have subs, we have shish kebabs, right? We have curry, we have everything, but we don't even have Italian food, right? We have everything but Italian food. Definitely not pizza. Even if we have Italian food, we don't have pizza. And so with that one, I'm with Ed on this one. I'm telling them to date out. All that talking they doing, date out. Go experience it. But here's the thing. This is where Mr. Z is. I'm so militant on this. I kid y'all now. The second you even attempt to date out, forget locking the door. We will put a wall there. There will be no more door to walk through. You will wait. You'll literally blink over to the direction of the door. The second you put your big toe, I don't care what happened on the other side of where that door used to be, because it's a wall now. The second you put your big toe through that threshold, it's over. There is no coming back. See, that's where Mr. Z stands 10 toes down. So I want to be clear what I'm saying. If you're a failed swirler, you don't get to come back. And failed swirler don't even mean you dated the white dude and got rejected, or you got kicked off of Mount Olympus like Ebony K. Williams. No, failed swirler to me even means that you were open to white dudes and you kept on getting rejected. And I'm making the argument that way more black women fit into that category than we would like to admit. That they ain't really try nothing with a white dude, because first of all, that's not them, but secondly, because they're afraid of rejection. If I even smell on you that if you thought you had a chance you would go over there, I'm done. Like the young lady off of the crew that was like, I could go, y'all act like y'all the only ones. We could go get white men. For me, black men need to excommunicate her from that. What? Shout out to, if there's a brother anywhere, because I think that's what filmed in New York. If there's a brother anywhere in the tri-state area and you touching her, why? Leave her out there for the white dudes and the Latino dudes and the Asian dudes she think that she could get. Now that Mr. Z been on since a child. You know when you have you don't have words for it when you're a child, or you don't know how to articulate yourself, but you just move a certain way. Middle school, high school, all the sisters that were into Latino dudes, in my mind, severed. Severed. Right? So yeah, I'm with, I get it, Sarge. I get it. You're trying to make sense of why they're operating. The problem is you're thinking cerebrally. They're feeling emotionally. They feel like the problem is they feel like they got cheated. They got cheated. They got cheated um off the west coast of Africa. They got cheated that they were forced to be next to you in them cabins, in the slave quarters. They got cheated that they were forced to be with you during Jim Crow. They got cheated that the white men didn't take them on and marry them during Jim Crow. They got cheated that now that we're 50 years out of Jim Crow, white men still ain't marrying them in any significant number. They feel like they feel like they got cheated because they should be upper middle class and rich and elite white women. They should be treated that way. Positively in their mind. They should be treated with the same type of fear and respect, right? And reverence, with the same exact beauty standard, actually above, but the same type of beauty standard as a 120, 25 pound, 5'4", 5'5" white woman, blonde hair, blue eyed, Victoria's Secret model. These particular black women that we're talking about, you're trying to make logical sense of why they move the way they do. And what I'm saying, and I think maybe Ed is saying also, is that's a waste of time. That's a waste of breath. And don't worry, Mr. Z is a whole hypocrite because I engage in it too sometimes. We're trying to make sense. Well, maybe if we move like this, and maybe if we move like, no. They want to be white women and they want it now. Sorry, wrong. They want it since yesterday, a week ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, a century ago, centuries ago. Right? That's it, bro. That's it. So yeah, tell them to date out. And the second, this is the thing. I don't know if Ed was saying this. I'll go even more extreme than Ed on this point. I don't even, if it looked like she even consider what you're saying, I'm saying throw her out. And plaster the door after that so there's a wall there and there is no coming back. I don't even need her to actually really walk out the door. If it looked like she, if she go, if it looked like a, you know what, if she, that's it. Right? And yeah, Mr. Donnie Mac says, Miss Cartwright, the myth of white womanhood. I'm saying if black women want to, and for all of you that have been listening more recently, I'm saying that if black women really want to be treated like white women, I'm saying treat them like white women. But I'm not saying treat them like white women the way they think. I'm saying treat them with the same apprehension and the same side eye. And like one of the brothers say, treat them like the white racist women that they wish they were. I'm saying treat them like Karens. Treat them like skeptical. Look at them with the side eye. Don't trust nothing they got to say. When they walk into the cafeteria at work, get quiet and move the hell out. And by the way, whoever you are, brother in Canada, good job. Where's Mr. Z talking about? Who was I listening to one time? Oh, Lexus Exodus. And I want to say it might have been her first live stream. But it was a live stream. I want to say it was Lexus Exodus. It could have been someone else. A young sister from Canada, and I don't know why I'm saying sister. A black woman from Canada, sounds young, was speaking about her at her job, and it was her and a black dude. I think she said they were the only two black people, or it might have been one other black girl, but he was the only black dude there. And she said the black dude would straight up ignore her, never spoke to her, treated her like she was invisible. And I'm like, he ahead of the game. Now, you say that while you call into the neo-Nazi Lexus Exodus channel. You're calling into Lexus Exodus, the neo-Nazi channel, talking about a black man ignoring you at work, like going out of his way to purposely let you know he's ignoring you. But you call into Lexus Exodus, old black woman, neo-Nazi self. Right? Let me reiterate this. And Ed is correct about this. Okay, fine. Let's go through it, black women. especially for those of you that have the color purple, no scrubs, waiting to excel, four color girls, narrative, the can you pay my bills narrative running through your head. Let's go through it. Okay, fine. Black men are dusties. Black men are secretly DL. Black men don't want to get up and go to work. Black men are not loyal to black women. Black men are colorists on a level of neo-Nazis. Black men are physically abusive. Black men are all of these things, right? Black men are the worst of the worst. What did a black woman say? Black men should have been left on the plantation. Fine. If you truly believe all of that, then black men need to move accordingly, and accordingly means staying the hell away from you. Not trying to prove like you have some type of power, not trying to prove themselves to you, but staying away from you, right? Staying away from you. D. Scott, this is the perfect statement. Tuck my lips in, tight nod, brief eye contact, and look back and forward. Oh, excuse me, look back forward. Yep, yep. The exact same way you treat an old white racist man that you're almost certain is racist. D. Scott, D. Scott, bro, we've all done it. Brother, you couldn't sit that what exactly, exactly, right? They're already complaining about it now. Women are already complaining about it now. Women, I didn't just say black women. Women in general are complaining about men not approaching them now. It's like these particular type of black women see bad situations, think it's just black men, or think it's just black men, and they make it worse. They just go around the world talking about how crappy you are, how defective and deficient you are, how much of a loser you are, and whatever situation is already happening, or a trend that's already happening around the world, already happening in America, they point to you and say you're the worst thing to ever happen to planet Earth. They make whatever situation is happening, and they make it even worse in the black community by chastising you and antagonizing you even more than the women in other communities, because they can't help it. Because they can't help it. Because all of this is the appeal to the white man. Shout out to Obsidian. Shout out to Shay Sade. Shout out to me, yours truly. With the online dating statistics that we have bought y'all, and the dating divide information that we have bought y'all, that's it. That's women of color, including black women. Because all throwing you under the bus in public is them backwards begging. We're gonna bring that into style. Backwards begging white men to be white men's mistress. Okay, white man, I know I can't be your wife, but can I be your mistress? All right, fine. I accept that I'll never be Miss Cartwright, but I'll be your side chick, right? Especially you're gonna put me in that Beamer 5 series. I'm gonna have nice thing. I'm gonna have random money that my husband didn't give me and I didn't earn at work. Well, I did earn at work. I was working on something. All right, Mr. White Man, I don't even want to be Miss Cartwright anymore. I'll be your side chick. And all I got to do is throw these black men under the bus all day, every day. I'll take it. Deal. Treat them, shout out to my Jamaicans, treat them like the informer they are. Right? They want to be white women. Chrissy, you want to be a white woman so bad? What Paris said, black is not automatically poverty. Fine. You want to be treated like a rich, elite white woman so bad? Yanni, you elevated your way out of black men so bad? All right, fine. So no, Sarge, no. There is no rejiggering this. It's no. Black women have to deal with their inferiority complex. There's nothing you can do about it, Sarge. There's nothing black men can't fix black women's inferiority complex, Sarge. Black men can't fix the contempt black women, particularly dark-skinned black women, have when they look in the mirror. I grew up in the hood, Sarge. Dark-skinned black girls were getting chose. Dark-skinned black women are getting married to black men. Black men are chasing after dark-skinned black women also. Whatever Chrissy's saying, that's some BS. Black women are going to have to deal with their inferiority complex and nobody could fix it. Watch this. Not even the white man can fix it. Because it's not even about the white man. Ooh, Mr. Z, you about to go there? Yes, I am. It's about the white woman. If we snapped our fingers today and white men showed a genuine interest in black women, you know that wouldn't do anything for their inferiority complex? Because in the back of their mind, they'd be like, he still want that white woman though. He still want that white woman. If he cheat on me, he could cheat on me with a white woman. I know it's all about the white woman. It's still all about her, ain't it? Mr. Z, it sounds like you talking about somebody that's sick. That's because I'm talking about somebody that's sick. This is a sickness, right? Shout out to Abba. Yes, the myth of white womanhood is that real. It's that strong. Y'all, I said it already. Y'all forgot we had Asian women walking around here with blonde hair and blue eye contacts. We had Asian women walking around here with blonde hair and blue eye contacts, man. Doing their best rendition of a white Valley Girl voice. Black women too. We got black women walking around here, well, not anymore like that, with blonde wigs. Latina women, same thing. It's the myth of white womanhood. That's why they don't care about their men's patriarchy, because it's about the white man elevating them to white womanhood status via white male patriarchy. Right? These people don't care. You know, and I might be have some connection issues in a minute. Y'all bear with me, right? Y'all bear with Mr. Z. Bear with Mr. Z. Right? Let me get this out the way. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I will be back. Right? Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll pause right here. And Allspaz says, and exactly Allspaz, and he says, a goal they'll never achieve. LOL. Funny to watch. Exactly. Exactly. Because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, right? So, Sarge, I get it, bro. I get it. Look, I get it. But you have to understand, Sarge, the vast majority of the women we're describing, they're not salvageable. And I hate to say something like that about human beings. But you have to ask yourself, what does it mean? Okay, fine. They're salvageable. Fine. What does it mean to salvage them? A person that their issue is that they're not a white woman. How do you salvage that? How do you fix that? Right? Y'all talk amongst yourselves. All right, and we're back. But yeah, so they're not. I don't see how you fix this. Just let these people deal with what they got to deal with, and then maybe their nieces and daughters will have a change of heart, right? Maybe that. Y'all already know Mr. Z is about black love, but not black love because you don't have no choices and you pretending and fronting, right? That's not black love, right? That's not black love. That's not real, right? Being the consolation prize, that's not real, right? Being seen as a defective, deficient black woman slash white man, that's not real, right? The black women that we're describing, Sarge, they can't you can't do anything with them because their issue is that they're not white women. Their issue is what they see in the mirror. They could talk about how it's your fault and it's because you don't no. It's because you don't, propagandize their image. You don't elevate their image. You don't earn enough to challenge white male patriarchy with what? Oh, you mean the patriarchy that you steady trying to tear down? Oh, I'm sorry. The way I challenge white male patriarchy is by being queer. Yeah, that's it. The way I challenge white male patriarchy is by being non-binary, because that's revolutionary, right? Being sexually fluid. Yeah, that's it. These people don't even make sense. Fab socialism. You said what you said. Why are all these revolution? She didn't say revolutionary. She said, what was the word that she used? It wasn't revolutionary. It was uh can't remember the word that she used. But essentially saying like radical. Why are these radical black women? It wasn't radical, it was something like that. Why are these radical black women with white men? Because they don't mean what they say. That's why. Because it's all about the white penis and the white vagina at the end of the day. That's why. Train tracks. Because they have an insatiable inferiority complex, and the lane that they used to try to assuage that insatiable inferiority complex is some type of progressive left talk That's why. Fab socialism. Talk to them long enough and see how quick all that progressive talk turn to conservative talk when you start talking about black men. Ooh. All that progressive talk go out the window when you start speaking to them about straight black men because they don't mean none of that stuff they talking about. Even Richard Reeves has spoken about that. Even FD Signifier has kind of implied, suggested that. All these supposed black lefty women, once you start talking to them about black men, all of a sudden it's pull yourself up by your bootstraps and look at we doing it. Why they can't do it? We making it happen. Why they can't do it? Oh, all your lefty talk go out the window when we talking about black men. So yeah, brother FD, I said brother FD, brother Sarge, right? I hear you, I understand, right? But the people we're describing have a vested interest in a particular narrative because they don't like what they see in the mirror. And I don't think you can fix that. They have to fix that. Right. And Ola, just like Ola. Now Ola, for those of you that don't know, she's not only on, she wasn't only featured on Brianna Joy Gray's show, but she's also on, what was it, the Revolution podcast. No, I can't remember what else I saw her on that she's actually a mainstay of this kind of lefty channel, bunch of white dudes and whatever. But she don't mess with white dudes like that apparently. So she says, but white man had to play her. Now she all about black love and black men. After the white man played her, by her own words, and they say no, nobody. This is an attorney in Georgia, right? I said in Georgia. I'm so sorry. In New York, right? So no, like that's why Mr. Z said the second they walk the other direction, I'm about closing the door in their face and then putting a wall there. That way they can't come back. Ain't no coming back through that. There won't be no coming back through the door because there's not a door there anymore. It's a wall, right? So yeah. So on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. That was my just little random um response to Ed and Sarge Willie Pete. Um, tell them to date out, right? And and yeah, and me agreeing with Ed, like there's nothing you could do with that because it's really not about black men. And if I could Thanos snap black men to perfection to show black men that it's really not about you, the black women that's gonna ride with you are gonna ride with you. The black women that are about black men are about black men. As imperfect as they are, and as perfect as black men are, the black women are gonna ride with black men are gonna ride with black men. The ones that are not are not. They're not. That's why I use Chrissy as an example. She was never really riding with black men. Sarge, she had already dated out before she met you. Do you remember? Look how many black women are baby mamas still black men. They go through it with black men and they still ride with black men. They get their heart broken by a black man, or they break their own damn heart from dumbass ideas and they still end up with another black man. Crystalline Karazin went through it one time and she was like, oh, I'm gonna go get me a white man. Well, how long that marriage lasted? What, 2 decades or so? I mean, it ain't the black, and it's not the black man or the white man. You didn't have. Let me get this right. You had the black man. He didn't put a ring on your finger. The white man was green enough. He put a ring on your finger and gave you 2, 3 kids. And y'all still ain't go the whole way. Dear Crystalline Kerosene, that mean it's you. You want to be Halle Berry? Halle Berry, same thing. They and all these black dudes, married to a couple of them, all black women. You see, y'all don't even treat y'all preference right. The Halle Berrys, the pretty ones, da-da-da. White men fighting them. She had white men fighting. Now what? Now she back with a black dude. So yes, Sarge, the reason why I use Chrissy as an example is to say, when you met her, when you brought her to us online, it was already done. She was already done since then. Because she don't like what she sees in the mirror. Y'all trying to tell me that these white dudes are banging down Chrissy's door? If Chrissy was so kick-ass, she would have had a ring from some white or Latino dude a decade ago. Over a decade ago. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Chrissy might be my age, maybe a couple years older. She would have had a ring from a white dude over a decade ago. You gotta let them date out. You gotta let them date out and deal with whatever experiences they're gonna deal with over there, right? And put the wall up so there won't be any coming back here and telling us how loyal you are or telling us what epiphany you had when you were over there, right? And yeah, it's not fair. People change and people learn and people make mistakes. No, this ain't no mistake. There's no I evolved in my way of thinking and nope. Right? Like I said, black people go through experiences with other black people. We're around mainly other black people. Your first love is probably a black person. I'm not just talking about your parents. It's another black person. And if you're so weak and fragile that you go through one little bullying, one little heartbreak, one little rejection, okay, 2, 3, 4, 10, 12, 50. Oh, okay, oh, I can't do this anymore with black men. Fine. The second it looked like you even consider going to the other side, wall. Your little fragile ass can't deal with one issue with a black man, but you're gonna go through hoops for the white man though that don't ever choose your ass. Nope. Wall. All these swirlers and divestors telling us how great white men are to them. I've dated white men and Latino men and Asian men. How old are you? 42. How long you been dating outside the race? 15 years and you don't got no ring. Okay, yeah, that's it. These other men are so great. You've been out the race for 15 years. 15 years to bust down, right? And DA says, do you have some opinion about black men who go through heartbreak with black women? You support SYSBM? I do. Mr. Z, the hypocrisy. The difference is black men aren't spreading negative propaganda about black women the way that black women are. White society didn't give us the microphone. White society gave black women the microphone, DA. I'm already ahead of you right now, DA. Trust me. See, the beauty of the past 50 years is black women can't deny what they've been saying and doing over the past 50 years. It's that simple. You could attempt to justify it. You're going to fail, but you could attempt to justify it. But black women can't say that they haven't been spreading negative propaganda about black men over the past 50 years. Black women can't say that other black women haven't been talking about aborting black male babies. It was easy for y'all to ignore it until Cynthia G said it on Fox Soul to Dr. Umar Johnson. Now y'all can even pretend y'all don't know. Right? Y'all can't even pretend y'all don't see the difference between black men and black women is black men aren't bringing on known frothing out the mouth white racist police, right? Female police to talk crap about black women, right? That's the difference, right? And DA, watch this. This is the difference. Watch this. And DA says, nope, black men are definitely spreading anti-black about black women. So you're basically a hypocrite. Okay, let's say that I am. Only one of us is truly going to be single. There you go. Black women have to understand only one of us is going to win. The fairness y'all pretend like y'all care about, it doesn't work that way. Only one of us is going to win, or only one of us is going to lose harder than the other one. I said this on Christmas. Black women lose harder, period. I remember saying this like almost 6 months ago now. Yeah, it's not fair. Yes, it is, but even if it wasn't, and what? You live in an unfair system, you're okay with it. You working your ass off for the white man, you getting peanuts, you okay with it. Right? This system put its foot in your rear end every single day, you're okay with it. But you want air quotes fair when it comes to black men? And black men are probably the fairest situation you got on this planet right now. And you calling me a hypocrite? I'll take that. I'll own it. And fine, black men are hypocrites. Where you going? Okay, black men are hypocrites. Where are you going where you don't find a hypocritical system? I said this during Christmas. Black women lose harder. I meant it. Y'all have SYSBM and passport bros. Go be a passport sis. Tell me how that work. I did the math for y'all. Right? Ed probably mad at me for doing the math for y'all. Ed, I gotta do it again for them. You got like 24 countries. Black men and men in general in the West have all the countries because it's about money and status, right? And if you looking to date up and not play a lottery ticket game, depending on what developing country you looking at, then guess what? You got 24 countries. Western European countries, Japan, South Korea, China, Singapore, a couple of the Arab countries, not really, let's be honest. There you go. Yeah, it's not fair. You would think that black women, knowing it's not fair, would hold on to black men for dear life. But in actuality, what y'all try to do is be a white woman, talk crap about black men, and then call black men hypocrites. I get what you're saying, DA. And DA says, just asking, it's not an attack on you personally, Z. I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is, first of all, I do think it's fair, but let's say it's not fair. And I don't think I'm being a hypocrite on this, but let's say I was being a hypocrite on this. And I don't see black women trying to tear down white patriarchy. I see them trying to hold it up. I don't see black women complaining this much about their BS 9 to 5 that's paying them peanuts, that done ripped out the union from under them, etc., etc. I don't see black women challenging white female hegemony. I don't see black women advocating for their boys. I don't see black women throwing a fit that their boys can't read on reading level. I don't see black women doing any of that. right? But the hypocrisy comes in when black men say, "Yeah, you better get down with our program," or you could go deal with what you deal with outside, whether it's same-sex loving, whether it's dating outside of the race, whether you just stay single with your rose toy, try to make sense of why you single. Shout out to Yanni, trying to tell us sex is easy. It's easy to get sex from a man. I believe her too. I'm not even saying she's wrong. She's right. You still look like you're going crazy though. You got all this money. You could get sex from men easy, right? Look at the glow. Bro, Kim Foster is a little troll, a little wannabe white elitist woman troll. And yet when she started dealing with dude, you saw the glow on her. I called it before she even officially said it. You saw the glow on her. Right? What y'all saying? All these women that claim they don't care, they get them a dude, they be glowing. Right? So if it comes off hypocritical that I know black women don't got no damn choices, it's messed up. Oh, it's messed up. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, it's messed up. Yeah, it's not fair, God, it's not fair. Yeah, it's not. And you know how much unfairness black men. Wait a minute. That's what I was saying just now. Was it? Wait, Z, weren't you just saying that like 5 minutes ago? How so many things are not fair and they're very hypocritical and the system's very hypocritical and black women are willing to accept that on so many different levels up until it comes time to talk about their relationship with black men. Then all of a sudden they want to talk about fair and how black men are being hypocrites, even though black men are the least hypocritical thing they interact with ever, ever. Which goes back to all of these social engineers speaking about how black men are the most egalitarian men on the planet, practically. Yeah. Yep. And DA says, and nothing. It's your opinion. A lot of people have double standards. I came to accept it. People's stances and content creator opinion. I get what you're saying, but my what I'm saying, and I'm gonna close out in a minute. It's not just a double standard, DA. What I'm saying, I actually want you to think about this systemically. Like this is what it is. If you can find a different way that this works, you can put it out. You can say it in my comments. Black women either get down with black men's program or go deal with what you got to deal with in the wilderness out there somewhere. Right? That's what I'm saying. Black men in the black ministry, particularly, are saying it's either black men or the wilderness. And whatever happened to you in the wilderness, we will not go send a search party. There will be no rescue team. You just deal with what you deal with. Whether that's same-sex relationships, like I keep on saying, whether that's being single, whether that's interracial, whatever. What we're doing, at least Mr. Z, what Mr. Z's project is to make sure that there's no excuses after the fact. After you go over there, if it worked for you and you get to come back bragging, haha, I got me my white man, or haha, I'm in a relationship with a black woman and I'm happy as hell, that's great. But if you go over there and get mauled, oh well. So it's not just about owning the double standard. It's about saying this is what it is, this is where we stand, and black women, you make your choice. Individual black women and black women as a group, make your choices. That's all I'm saying. Right. And the narrative over here, the only part of this that's really counter narrative is the propaganda, where we're going against the negative propaganda about black men. That's what I'm trying to stress. Right. Because black women had the microphone for like 50 years. White society gave white racist men, the same white racist men that these fake black female lefties keep on railing against, that secretly were piping black women on the low, gave black women the microphone over the past 50 years. And black women got to say whatever they wanted to say about black men over the past 50 years. And we're here now. Right? That's all I'm saying. But people, I have to go. Mr. Z has work to do. No, seriously though. All right, everyone. I'm gonna pause right here. We might come back with this subject. Shout out to you, Big Kev. Yes, I did watch the the mini doc that you sent me about the chaebols. I've been knowing that's how it go down in South Korea. And somebody said something very interesting. Side note for those of you that I'll share it so that y'all can see it, or y'all can subscribe to Big Kev's channel. Either way, I'll give y'all the information. But yeah, somebody said something interesting in the comments, which is like the two different forms of dystopia, that's North Korea and South Korea. And I found that like like, you know, when somebody says something, you like, oh boy, like it's not that you're mind blown, but it really puts into context something. Like they defogged your glasses, put it that way, right? Like you saw it, but they defogged it with the simplest comment, right? And it was like, yeah, one form of dystopia and another form of dystopia, but it's still two forms of dystopia that you've read in books, right? So yeah. Anyway, let's pause right there. I'll come back with the rest of this topic later on this afternoon, and yeah, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Love, peace, and chicken grease. For pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. I saw Gold P in here, so let's end with this. Shout out to Gold P. Y'all already know, like I always say, Gold P was the first person to suggest that Mr. Z start his channel, which I did eventually. And yeah, y'all shouldn't all y'all hate mail to Gold P. All right, everybody. And Toya, you just not getting in here. You're late. No, I'm playing with you, Toya. All right, everybody. Yeah, okay. Mr. Z, pause right there. All right, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.